Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. Do the Steeler Nation still believe in Kenny Pickett? And I got a lot of other things to discuss too in this segment. Can we adjust? As you guys know, a segment I do weekly, asking the questions, the big questions, and looking through things of what the fans are saying, the media is saying about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a lot of things circling around. A lot of people trying to say that they don't believe in Kenny Pickett anymore. They said they're done with Kenny Pickett and said they don't believe in Kenny Pickett. Before I get into that and the Kenny Pickett thing, until you can get my take on it, I'm going to start off with the other part of the segment too, as we're going to do. Talk about, should Joey Porter Jr. start this week? He needs to start this week. He needs to start ASAP. He needs to start today. JPJ made some big-time plays on Monday Night Football the other day. You guys will be seeing this video on Wednesday, but from my perspective, I'm recording it on Tuesday. So yesterday, JPJ made 2 pass breakups, including the one that ended the game and sealed the deal. But he also had one, I think early in the first half, too. He had the pass breakup on the sideline, too, as well. JPJ only played 14 snaps, 2 pass breakups, and last week he played 6 snaps. This week he played 14 snaps. He had 2 pass breakups. And JPJ, he got to be on there. Like, if you just look at the guys we have on the thing. We have, of course, Patrick Peterson out there. Levi Wallace, Sullivan be out there as well. Desmond King was inactive that week, that game too as well. But KC, sometimes they line him up in nickel. They line him in different spots. Keanu Neal, same thing. I think JPJ got to be out there, got to start a corner, got to take him out for Levi Wallace. We've seen Levi Wallace get beat. I told you guys, we cannot let Levi Wallace stay on the island of Mark Cooper. Mark Cooper was a little banged up yesterday. He still made some big-time plays for the Browns, but he was a little banged up. If he wasn't banged up, he was healthy, he was going to torch us for sure. Mark Cooper was open almost every play. Almost every play. Look at our pass rush was very good, but Mark Cooper was almost open every play. Levi Wallace was getting cooked every play, and his effort too. And that big-time run that Ford had when he reversed the field and ran a 68-yard run, and Minka had to jump and dive and hurt himself like that. Not to win at himself, had to get taken out the game for the rest of the game and be deactivated because Levi Wallace's effort. You was on the side, you was right by him. You just let him run past you. And then you see that 3rd and 22 play that happened too as well. Now that wasn't maybe not fully on Levi Wallace maybe, but it was in his area, his zone too as well. And the other play too, I think it was on 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 8 or something, 3rd and 7 running that one of those plays that Mark Cooper caught the ball on him over the top. I'm like, come on, you can't let that happen. So Levi Wallace has been getting cooked. I told you guys last year he was solid. He wasn't good, he wasn't bad. He had some good plays, had some bad plays, but he was solid. He was in between, so you can rely on him like a little bit. He's solid in between. But I told you guys he didn't specialize in man-to-man coverage. We knew that when he played with the Buffalo Bills. He didn't specialize in man-to-man coverage. They had Tre'Davious White over there to do that. And we've seen what happened the past 2 games for the Steelers. Levi Wallace is getting torched and getting brutalized, getting victimized, whatever you want to call it, abused, all on the sideline. Every time he's in his corner, his direction, you already know what's going on. Brandon Ayuk did it to him. Christian McCaffrey did it to him. And now Mark Cooper did it to him. And then this week, we played Devontae Adams. And I can't have Levi Wallace on the island by himself with Devontae Adams. I'm going to say his name wrong. Devontae Adams. Like, come on, man. Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow, they got a good receiving core. And like, I know our pass rush and our defense is good and stuff, but like I mentioned before, the cornerback spot still scares me a lot because they don't want to play JPJ. They want to do the old-fashioned way. We want to ease the guy in. We want the guy to play. Put the guy in. If he's the best guy available, you put him in. I don't care if he's a rookie or not. If he's 20 years old, if he's 15 years old, if he's the best guy available, put him on the field. We've seen Christian Gonzalez with the Patriots. Did the Patriots wait to ease him into things? No, they put him on the field. And you guys know how good Christian Gonzalez is. And he's been playing lights out on football. He held Tyreek Hill to 14 yard. I think that was 0 yards. And he had an interception as well. He held, who was that? He was Devontae Smith. He held him to 14 yards. And he held A.J. Brown to 47 yards. Christian Gonzalez has the speed, the size, and the ability, the man-to-man coverage, which like kind of most of the corners out of the draft had. Devin Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr. A lot of those guys had that ability to like man up on guys and match guys step for step. We seen that yesterday with JPJ. Most of the plays he made with the pass breakups was man-to-man. The Steelers need a man-to-man cornerback out there because they do a lot of blitzing. They blitz a lot. They blitz a lot of guys in. They bring a lot of guys in. So you need a guy man-to-man. When you blitz in, you're going to leave some stuff open on the back end. And a guy like JPJ, he specializes in man-to-man coverage. specializes in that. So why would you not? Why would you not bring him like on to be the starter? I think he's trying to get the reps up and get stuff up like that. Like, just put him out there. And he's a young guy, so if anything bad was to happen, we know he can learn from the mistakes. Put him out there. Don't be scared. And Levi Wallace is getting torched the entire time, because this week we played one of the best receivers of this generation, Devontae Adams. And if he switch and motion to that side, oh no, we can't have that. And Levi Wallace side, gonna get torched. We're gonna get cooked. You got 230 receiving yards. That was to happen. So hopefully they start JPJ this week. You got to, or play him at least majority of the game this week or something. Like, you got to put him out there, because JPJ, every time he's on the field, he made some good plays, and he has the length, the size, the arm length. I'm going to say arm length, the size, the height as well, and the speed too. And he specializes in man-to-man coverage to go out there and be fit perfectly in the Steelers defense, because they like to send those pressures in, the blitz ins, and all that stuff in every single play. But hopefully they do it. Moving on to the Kenny Pickett topic. Kenny Pickett, as you guys know, has not been playing too good. A lot of the fan base is saying that they're done with Kenny Pickett, and which leads to the question, of course, of the video: does SteelerNation still believe in Kenny Pickett? I still believe in Kenny Pickett. This is year 2. I can't fully like kind of like analyze a guy after he didn't play a full season yet. I think we played 14 games so far. 14 games so far he's played. Can't really fully analyze a guy yet. After year 2, I can. But most time you want to see a sample size at least a year or almost 2 years, like a sample size. But okay, I know who the guy is, like that. But one thing I noticed, last year we seen Kenny Pickett. He was playing good. He was showing a lot of bursts and showing for some potential as well. And like I mentioned before, last year I never viewed Kenny Pickett. I still don't view him as an elite level quarterback, of course, like being elite one day. Maybe that might change. But I did view him as being a good quarterback. And like I mentioned, like his projection, people say the ceilings and stuff. You can't really measure the ceiling of a player, because you never know what can happen. They can either have some bad games and never come back from it. They can be either very good and just turn it all around and start playing good football. But I kind of measured his projection to be around the level of a Kirk Cousins, a Derek Carr, a Dak Prescott, a Jimmy Garoppolo type level. Good quarterbacks. Dak Prescott probably a little higher above that threshold a little bit, but they're all good quarterbacks. They're good quarterbacks, but they need everything around them to be perfect sometimes for them to like contend for a Super Bowl, contend for a championship to get there. And remember, you seen Jimmy Garoppolo hit the situation with the 49ers. Everything around him was perfect. He got to the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, he kind of made some bad plays here and there, but he still got them there and able to compete and contend. I feel like Kenny Pickett can fall in that range from projections, from the things I've seen so far. Now if I start seeing more things, like start seeing him do some crazy things, going crazy, then that can change, of course. But like just from projection, from what we've seen so far from him from last season, I think 8-6 as a starter. So from last season and from a little bit this season, I can see him in that threshold, maybe reaching that one day if he can stay on this type of like, well, not his first 2 game journey, but he's still on the journey he had, like he was going from last year and he's entering this year like that. That's the projection I kind of have for him. But of course, the projection thing is just based off of what we see. It's not like saying that he's going to become that. He can be even better than that, or he can be even worse than that. So you never know what can happen. But Kenny Pickett has not been playing too good, and the play calling has not helped him out as well. Matt Canada called some questionable plays. Well, he's been doing that for the past 2-3 years, calling questionable plays, and it just hasn't worked out well. The scheme and stuff is not working well. And one thing that I noticed a lot too, well, before I get to that, one thing I noticed, let me just break down the Kenny Pickett stats. Kenny Pickett, 454 passing yards in the first 2 games, 2 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He has a 69.7 passer rating, which is one of the lowest ones in the league so far. 18.8 QBR, which is ranked last, 32nd in the NFL. 60 completion percentage. Yesterday he had 50% completion percentage yesterday, which is very low. 10 lower than his average. He's inaccurate on a lot of timely throws. Some of them throws that you drop back, it would be like almost like on a rope, almost like in a sequence. He's inaccurate on those. And from one thing I noticed while I was on the stream yesterday, the mechanics of Kenny Pickett. If you go back, I did that earlier today. Where's my football? Earlier today, I went back and I watched last year Kenny Pickett when he was like playing. We started seeing a little spark and seeing him start succeeding a little bit. You see, the mechanics are different. He's throwing different this season. I don't know what it is. He's throwing a little like a lower trajectory. That's why a lot of passes are low to the ankle and low to like close to the ground a lot. We've seen a few missed passes. We're like, why is he throwing the ball so low and so hard like that? Last year when we seen Kenny Pickett we seen him have like a different release. Like the release was a little higher. He held the ball a little higher stance, and his throwing motion is kind of like in a downward spiral. So when he dropped back, he kind of delivered the pass in a spiral like that. But it kind of like it was very accurate the way he was throwing it because he like had the ball up higher. What I'm seeing from him lately, his mechanics kind of having the ball lower to his chest, and he's kind of ripping it like a baseball, like a pitcher a little bit, and it's like going to the bottom. It's not really like resonating well and not really translating well. His mechanics look kind of different from what it was last year. I don't know if he switched something up, trying to try something different or something, but we know Kenny Pickett, like the concern about him coming into the season, coming to the NFL was on. They said the hands, because they say his hands was too small. He had like his hands was like 8 inches. My hands are about, I think I mentioned them last time for that video. We did a little training camp little skit. I think my hands is 10.8 or 10.9 inches like that. So my fingers are long, so I'm able to grip a football. I can grip, I grip a basketball like this, like pretty easy like that, and grip a basketball. But yeah, my cousin, Marcus D. Butler, who's a co-creator of the Genesis. You guys go check that channel out as well. We do a lot of cool things on that channel. His hands are the same size as mine, and like this, but his hands are a little thicker and bigger than my hands. So he can't really grip. He can grip the basketball, even though it's the same size. So I feel like maybe, and Joe Burrow has the similar hand size as Kenny Pickett as well. But he had no problem with like the way he ain't got to wear the gloves and like that. Maybe it's like that type of thing where your hand size is kind of like like kind of like the same size but a little different like that. Maybe because the size of the hand or something. But I don't know. But Kenny Pickett mechanics have been off, and a lot of people was concerned about that because they said in college it's like he grip the football, the NFL football. But he's shown us last year that he could do it. He made some like game-winning drives and some big-time throws. The deep ball wasn't the best, but he made some throws here and there and some nice throws we saw last year. We're like, okay, that's some nice throws. And then preseason, we've seen him make some time throws, but it's just preseason, so that's why I never overreact to preseason. I'm like, preseason is just preseason. Some of those throws that he made in preseason, they'd be good in the regular season as well, but he's like his mechanics are just off. He's inaccurate, and it's just it just look, I don't know, it just looks something off, like something different from what you seen last year. Like, you guys ever get the time to go back and go watch some of the games of Kenny Pickett last season. Like the one, like not the first part of the season. Don't watch those. They're the ones after the bye week. Watch those games, and you be like, okay, you see the way the mechanics is, and you see how his timing is, and you watch the first 2 games of this season. You like something look way off. It look way different, way off. And one thing I noticed about Kenny Pickett too, while I was looking at last year and then looking at this year, he has not used his mobility. He has not ran the ball. Kenny has not ran the ball. He hasn't used his legs, and that was the thing kind of college. We know he's not like a dual threat level like a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts type of guy, but we knew that he had ability to move and to run, use his legs. He had a 90-yard touchdown in a little bowl game that he had. He did the fake slide and stuff. We knew Kenny Pickett had the speed to use his legs and to use his play action passes, the bootlegs, and all that type of stuff. He haven't really been using that like his mobility. We haven't really seen him run. I think see that run play where he ran when Canada caught that little re-option. That's the only time I really seen him like run. Maybe he ran to get a few yards, but he didn't really use his legs a lot. Step up in the pocket and like get down the field and slide and stuff. Because last year he had 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns. He used his legs a lot more last year, and it helped him out a lot. Another guy who hasn't used his legs too was Justin Fields. We've seen Justin Fields last season. We've seen all the bursts. We've seen the spurts. Of course, the Bears still had the first pick in the draft. He lost a lot of games. Team wasn't the roster wasn't the best, but Justin Fields, we saw a lot of greatness from him. He even got ranked top 100 NFL player, like in the 80s, and he was out there. He played very well. He had over 1,000 rushing yards. He had some plays in the air too. We was like, okay, he got DJ Moore coming into this season, and we're gonna see how he work and play out. And the Bears had him drop back a lot and throw the ball, I think 77 times so far, and start the season off. He ain't really ran the ball too much either. But I even coaches try to make players, or maybe the player themselves doing it too, try to playing a style that they're not good at. Play to your strong suit. Of course, you can mix it up here and there, but play to your strong suit. Kenny Pickett should be using his legs and mobility to run and using that part of his game, because that's when he plays his best. Same with Justin Fields. You got to use your legs and ability to run. Remember RG3 in the old days, he wanted to switch himself to a pocket passer, and Mike Shanahan had that back and forth. When Mike Shanahan wanted him to play his game, he said, you can't be like a Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, but they can't be like you either, because they can't run the ball like you do and be mobile like you do. But he wanted to try to force himself in the pocket, and it kind of messed him up a little bit, because he wasn't able to be at because they're not his play style. Like Lamar Jackson, people say they want to see him throw passes from the pocket. I don't care about him throwing passes from the pocket. As long as we win in games, as long as he's successful, and what he do, we're going to keep doing that because that's his play style. So Kenny Pickett got to start playing his game. You got to start using your mobility. You got to start using your legs. You got to start getting out there in space and just creating those playmaking plays we seen you make last year. We seen you made at college, and we seen you make last season when you had those 4 game-winning drives and those 2 big-time wins in prime time with game-winning drives as well. We want to see that Kenny Pickett, not this Kenny Pickett we've been seeing for the first 2 games. Like I don't know what's going on. Well, I want to see killer Kenny, not the Kenny that got killed on South Park. I want to see that Kenny. I want to see the killer Kenny. So hopefully he can get it together. He's playing against the Raiders this week on another primetime game. Live television, a lot of eyes will be watching. So let's see what he can do. That's all I got for this video today, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have lost your faith in Kenny Pickett, or some of you guys never had faith in him in the first place. But if you guys lost faith in Kenny Pickett, or you still believe in him, or what do you think is wrong with him, the mechanics, or is it catching up to him, or what's going on like that? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.